going to be a complete chaos on election day.
Some people say the change of the new ambassador was purely incidental because it was really timed when Kenny was on her way out.
If you look at our history, normally what happens is the previous ambassador leaves about 2 months, 3 months before, and the next ambassador arrives about a month, 2 months after the proclamation of the next president.
Yes.
Okay, and sometimes, even in Gloria's case, I don't think the next ambassador was there present. It was only the chargé that was there. But in this particular case, he seemed to be right there. And so, expecting a total chaotic situation of election day, we were all stunned to think that there was no such problem. And as a matter of fact, the results were coming in very fast, probably too fast.
Very expeditious.
Before the transmissions, officially now, they're now being told to us that before the transmission of the PCOS machines of the results, there are already results that are being counted coming from the so-called PCOS machines. And I don't know how this Venezuelan was dismissing it, but we could see that every step of the way he was contradicting himself, and at the same time would answer it with very ambiguous statements. You could read that there was a lot of lying going on. So if there is a lie, they're hiding something. And you couple that again with the visit of Ambassador Thomas to Noynoy Aquino.
Before the proclamation?
Not only before the proclamation.
During the counting?
Prior to the canvassing in Congress. This was prior to the canvassing, and I was so surprised. He went there with his senior staff and, of course, media in tow, and had the photo opportunity to congratulate him. And soon after, of course, the rest of the other countries' representatives started to file and congratulate him. Why is this? This is prior to canvassing, obviously prior to proclamation, at the height of the coming, at the height of the hearings and investigations, and more witnesses coming through, coming forward. You go and extend your hand of congratulations to this person.
Question, why did this current government accept that? Why did we allow it? Why didn't we come up with a how? Hindi tayo nagreklamo.
What you're asking is, was there complicity or was there conspiracy? Okay? Because the third item that we're objecting to first the cheating in the Solidarity for Sovereignty Declaration.
Sa paniwala ninyo talagang nagkaroon ng dayaan?
Oh, yeah. Massive. You see? You know, when they say, masyadong malaki ang dayaan, hindi mo, 500,000, you add 1 0 is 5 million votes, right? And any computer can do that. You don't have to, you don't have to talk about masyadong mahaba yung malaki yung lamang, no? Now, that was the cheating. Then the behavior of the diplomatic corps as led by the U.S. Ambassador Thomas, okay? And then afterwards, the apparent behavior of Malacanang, pushing the proclamation to go ahead.
And the palace said it was clean elections.
And of course, declaring that it was a clean election. And then, now you put that together, you start making suspicions. We don't have so-called all the evidences, but what you see is a process.
Comelec says, give us the evidence. Show us the evidence.
But
and Smartmatic says, there will be an electronic trail if there were any wrongdoing in the PCOS machines.
There is a saying among lawyers, I'm not a lawyer, but I used to like it, is they said, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, right?
Okay.
Just because you don't have the body, does not mean that there was no killing, right? There was no crime. No, there is a crime. You feel that there is a crime. You just don't get why, because they're very skilled at hiding this. No? And so because of this, the feeling of sovereignty came to fore. And I said, maybe it's time that we Filipinos assert our sovereignty. We always kowtow to what the United States wants. We always kowtow to all of these powerful people. No? And we keep ourselves dumb by saying, anyway, let's just hope that things are going to be okay. No? But the fact of the matter is, maybe at this particular point in our history as a country, especially when there is need for the country to get together, to be led by a true leader, we just have to assert our sovereignty.
True leader elected truly by the people.
Yeah, well, well, like we always say, leaders don't have to be presidents. Leaders can be like you, as you're taking the lead in many issues, and many other people that are taking the lead. But if you do it collectively and act as a people, once and for all, maybe we might be doing exactly what our forefathers 100 years ago wanted us to do. Because subsequent to what they did 100 years ago, we've actually almost prostituted our country to the so-called powers. And every leader that we had elected somehow had to kowtow to what the CIA said. I remember seeing a picture of Magsaysay sitting on his desk. I saw a picture, it was published in the newspapers. Sitting on his desk, and this Lansdale, this head of the CIA.
Did he have his finger pointing at him?
Something like that. Not really, no. He was holding a tobacco. And then he was sitting on the receiver's chair, but his foot was on top of the president's desk. And this is our
That's
president.
even worse than a pointed finger.
And this was published in the newspaper. I'm sure the archives have that picture. I said, I couldn't believe that something like this could happen in a sovereign republic. But are we a nation? Are we a people? Are we the Republic of the Philippines?
They say we're still a soft state, actually, at this point.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be a soft state. Maybe we should assert it once and for all. Okay, not to say the Philippines against the world, but we must assert ourselves as a sovereign nation, together with other sovereign nation states. And much like the Bretton Woods Agreement, work together for a common purpose for all of mankind, that is for the development and the upliftment of the quality of life of every single human being on this planet. That was a worthy goal that was set up and led by Franklin Delano Roosevelt at that time.
But Butch, before we go into that, we'll do that on the second segment. People are more interested to find out who are the people behind the Solidarity for Sovereignty and the objectives, and how did this come about?
Well, we were hopeful that in these coming elections we would be able to bring out certain ideas, especially in economics, in order
so
to
this started before the election?
This was the group started to convene more than a year before the elections. And we were saying that if there's going to be an election, then let us try to influence leadership into thinking this time for the people instead of for special interests.
We're talking about policy, and you did not take any sides in this election as far as this group is concerned. Yes.
No, we didn't take any sides. There was nobody. Matter of fact, we tried to. We were looking for candidates that were worthwhile, and we just couldn't find. So what nobody was talking about the right issues. Nobody addressed the global economic collapse, which is now upon us. What's happening in the U.S. and the whole of Europe is going to hit the world, and we're part of that world. We're not talking about how to really generate real jobs. We're not talking about the financial system. Nothing to do with that. We mouth things about not being corrupt, and so on and so forth, and that we will make your lives better. But there are no specific categorical moves or programs.
Were you happy with the coverage of media as far as elections were concerned, or were they, how would I call it, just ripple treatments of very substantive issues, or even those issues which really make a difference as far as this country is concerned, politically, economically, were not really specifically addressed and answered by our politicians?
I agree with you.